The skies, the weather, they have cleared up here at the Big A following a rainy fall Saturday opener. I don't think the same can be said for the action out on the West Coast at Breeders' Cup 31. A lot of controversy. The dust barely settling, but we're glad you're with us nonetheless here as we cap this opening week at the Big A. It's Jason Blewett, Maggie Wolfendale alongside MSG Plus, the place to be for the next half hour. Went fast, didn't it?
Did it? I don't know.
The Breeders' Cup. You don't think the Breeders' Cup went fast?
It's always kind of, you get a little sad when the Breeders' Cup is over because you have to wait for the Derby trial now. So you have a couple months before the newly turned 3-year-olds get on track. But we had some nice 2-year-olds here today, but it still doesn't top the Breeders' Cup.
No, 113 buyer for the Breeders' Cup Classic. Winner Bayern, who from all reports and coming from owner Kaleem Shah, this horse coming back as a 4-year-old. Sounds like the Dubai World Cup will be his first major target in 2015, and perhaps a horse who late yesterday out at Santa Anita staked his claim to Horse of the Year honors.
I mean, the argument can be made that he should be, or at least definitely 3-year-old of the year. He's traveled all over the place. He's had a tough campaign. He's won, what, 6 races at 8 different, he's traveled to 8 different racetracks and gotten 6 wins at that. And we see him, he's game. I mean, he's got a big heart when he's on the front end.
It was a tough end to the weekend, and the races were terrific. I mean, it's the Breeders' Cup after all, but with the stewards leaving Santa Anita without giving an official statement to the press regarding the fact that there was no change in the order of finish, left a sour taste in our mouth as we take a look at the head-on, and certainly focused in on the number 7 Bayern. I mean, who takes that hard left-hand turn right out of the gate. Martin Garcia does his best to correct the horse as quick as possible, but the damage is done, and clearly Shad Relief and Moreno were the 2 most affected by that left-handed turn from Bayern. But it sounds like the stewards today had a meeting with both Jamie Spencer, who rode Toast of New York, and Martin Garcia, and no suspensions for either guy.
Yeah, because if you continue to watch that, you did see Jamie Spencer take Toast of New York and kind of, not intentionally, but just wanting to get positioned towards the rail, cut off once again Sheriff Belief and Moreno, 2 horses that have speed. So it's a tough call because it's just coming out of the gate, and it's a 1.25 mile race. So did it ultimately affect the order of outcome? Well, one argument can be made that it did, because those horses were taken out of their comfort zone, of the way they want to run. But also, if they had big hearts, if their jockeys chose to maybe, hey, let's get towards the lead a little bit earlier, maybe it would have been different. So it's a tough call to make, and they ended up having a press conference today to explain their decision.
Well, speaking of tough calls, it'll be interesting to see what happens come the end of the year regarding champion turf horse in this country with Main Sequence, who's got 4 Grade 1s. Wise Dan, I'm sure off his past exploits, will get some support in the Eclipse Award voting, but Main Sequence, who benefited from a terrific ride from Hall of Famer John Velasquez, is planned to come back next year and prep, much like Bayern, for a major start on Dubai World Cup night.
Well, Grand Motion has obviously had success over in Dubai. You think of Animal Kingdom. This horse is awesome. I'm really impressed with the job that Grand Motion has done with this horse and the riding that has been given to him. Obviously Rajiv Mirage picked up his 3 first wins here in the States, but not an easy one to ride. And I was talking to Johnny, as we'll see a bit later in the show, and that they gave him to the T instructions about how to ride Main Sequence.
And finally broke cleanly in an excellent ride. Vintage John Velasquez in the Breeders' Cup Turf. Regarding the Juvenile fillies, D. Wayne Lucas up to his old self. 20 career wins in the Breeders' Cup, 6 of which have come in the Juvenile fillies. And in classic D. Wayne style, it sounds like Take Charge Brandy, who won at 61-1, might start again before the year is over.
Yeah, she might be heading to the Goldenrod down at Churchill Downs, obviously her home base, so that's always nice to run out of your own stall. And this race did come up slow, Jay. You don't really know what to make of this field. It did come up with an 83 buyer. She kind of led them on a merry chase, had things her own way, but it is the old coach, and he knows how to make champions of horses.
I do think Lady Eli will be an overwhelming winner in the champion 2-year-old filly category. And what about the Colts? Texas Red took advantage of a race that completely fell apart and won all off by himself. And Todd Pletcher's horses, Carpe Diem, got second, and Daredevil was hung out to dry, never had a chance from the outside.
This horse is huge, Jay. I mean, he covers a lot of ground with his stride. I'm impressed with him, with what I saw. Yes, the pace collapsed, but he's kicking away from them pretty darn easily here. And, I mean, kudos to the second and third place finishers. Obviously, horses that prepped around here, especially Upstart, who just got, you know, nosed out for second place in New York bred. But Texas Red's one to follow, and will obviously be prepared for a 3-year-old campaign.
One of the early favorites during the winter book for the Kentucky Derby. It will be January 1st. We'll be down at Gulfstream running before you know it. For now, though, we turn our attention to Holiday Fest and certainly what transpired on this 9-race card at the Big A. Another good crowd on hand. Place has really been buzzing and electric over the last few days, and we get to our co-featured third race. 2-year-olds, in fact, going a mile in the 40th running of the Nashua.
And they're off. El Kabir and Hebronville from the outside. First down, came away racing in third. Now Blofeld moves up into fourth. The Truth or Else is fifth, and Savoy Stomp is the trailer. As the 2-year-olds head up the backstretch, El Kabir is the leader here. And Hebronville is running in second. Blofeld now advancing from third. First down, back running in fourth. Savoy Stomp down at the rail. And the Truth or Else after an opening quarter mile in 23 and 2/5 seconds. El Kabir opens up here. El Kabir has built a 4-length lead over Blofeld. El Kabir is the leader. Blofeld giving chase in second. On the outside is First Down in third. The Truth or Else is now going past Hebronville. And the trailer is Savoy Stomp. The half over the off-going in 46 and 4/5 seconds. El Kabir continues to lead. The lead's 2.5 lengths over Blofeld. With First Down in third and a gap of 3 to the Truth or Else, Hebronville, and Savoy Stomp. El Kabir leads by about a length. Blofeld on the outside, and they're at the top of the stretch in the Nashua. El Kabir challenged by Blofeld. It's Blofeld on the outside and El Kabir at the rail, and Blofeld's got the lead with 1/8 of a mile to the finish. Blofeld in front. El Kabir farther back. It's First Down and the Truth or Else. Blofeld will stay undefeated. He's won all 3 of his starts, and he wins here by 4 lengths. El Kabir was second, close for third between the Truth or Else and First Down.
Things did not work out on the West Coast yesterday. The Juvenile fillies and the Juvenile for the Todd Pletcher barn, but they got a good one here, the unbeaten 3-for-3 Blofeld.
Yeah, and he's tried every distance so far in his young career, and he's handled each one with ease here under Johnny Velasquez. Still a bit green. He likes to lay on that inside rail a bit, Jay, but he does it fast, so I guess it really doesn't matter.
Great call by Quality Road. He has passed every test thrown at him, much like Hall of Famer John Velasquez, who won his 3rd Shoemaker Award for the Breeders' Cup's top jockey yesterday, and he was with Maggie moments after the Nashua.
The Grade 2 Nashua is in the books, and I'm here with winning jockey Johnny Velasquez aboard Blofeld. Johnny, he's 3-for-3 in his young career. He seems to be pretty talented. He's gotten every distance that Todd's thrown at him so far.
Yeah, so far he's done everything really good. You know, even from the first time he didn't Saratoga, you know, we thought he was going to be very quick from the gate. He actually turned out to be a much better setup the way he breaks. Like, he takes a little bit to get him going. Seems like every distance that they would throw at him, he gets better and better. So hopefully we continue doing that.
Exactly. Well, I hope you continue winning Breeders' Cup races, as you probably came back on the red eye last night and you picked up 13 Breeders' Cup races so far aboard Main Sequence in the turf yesterday for Grand Motion. You're filling in for Rajiv Mirage, but you gave him a textbook ride.
Tell you what, it's so nice to ride horses like that. And I did talk to Rajiv and Graham before, prior to the race, and everything they told me about him, they were spot on. Though. You know, he's a very good horse. He just had a little quirk in the game, but after that, basically he was all himself. Just kind of tried to time it at the right time to get to the wire. Because if he gets a little too soon to the lead, he kind of waits. And I still thought that I got a little bit too early there, but he held on anyway.
Well, Johnny, congratulations on both wins today and yesterday.
Thank you very much.
Son of Quality Road purchased for $225,000 as a 2-year-old in training earlier in the year. Sounds like, looking at the post-race quotes the NYRA press office sent out, Blofeld might be running next in the Remsen, going 2 turns and a mile and a furlong. Your thoughts?
I'm still not convinced that he can go that far. I wasn't convinced he could get a mile today. But, Jay, let's face it, a 1-turn mile is a bit easier for a sprinting-type horse to get than going around 2 turns, especially going the 9 furlongs that he'll have to do in the Remsen. So, am not his biggest fan of going that far. He's a talented colt, and I like what Johnny said about how he's kind of learned to relax coming out of the gate, and that's a good quality to have when you're trying to stretch out.
Third career win in the Nashua for the Pletcher Barn, joining Bluegrass Cat and Violence. As we send it to break, we've got the 2-year-old fillies in the Tempted, the remainder of this opening Sunday card at the beautiful Big A. Horses, good times. Stay tuned on MSG+. The unparalleled views of a Sunday evening here at the Big A as the sun begins to set. Final race at 4:12. The Empire State Building, of course, in the background on MSG+. As we look ahead, and no rest for the weary in the month of November. It is jam-packed. We began certainly on a big note with the Breeders' Cup yesterday. And how about putting $400 up, Maggie, for the Aqueduct Fall Handicapping Challenge?
I won't be doing it, but I hope a lot of people do, because great races over that weekend, obviously, and a $200,000 prize for the taking.
And Holiday Fest, of course, kicking off with the Fall Highway on Thanksgiving Day. The big
Love
day,
it.
Cigar Mile Day, November 29th. Maybe we'll see the unbeaten Blofeld try 2 turns in the Remsen. For now, though, what about the 2-year-old fillies? They shared the spotlight with Blofeld and the boys in the Nashua as we check out the 40th running of the Tempted, and John Abrial with the call.
Here in the gate. And they're off. Hesitant start for number 1, Save Rock and Roll, and she's at the back of the pack. From the outside, Miss Always Ready and Enchantress, and Jacaranda is right there. So 3 of them across in the early going. They've opened up 3 lengths on Harlan's Honor, who's down at the rail and racing in 4th. Sunday Sonnet has moved from an inside post to an outside position. Paula's Silver Lining is in between horses in a break of 7 lengths. Back to Save Rock and Roll, who trails the field in 7th. And the opening quarter mile in the windy conditions in 23 1/5 seconds. Jacaranda leads here by 2 lengths. Enchantress, Miss Always Ready. And on the outside, Sunday Sonnet. Those 3 are right together. Paula's Silver Lining is in 5th, 5 lengths from the lead. As they pass the half-mile pole, it's Jacaranda on top. Ran the opening half in 47 3/5 seconds. Paula's Silver Lining has now moved through down at the rail. Then it's Miss Always Ready. Sunday Sonnet, extreme outside. Enchantress is 5th and dropping back. On the outside, Save Rock and Roll is now making a move. And away out of it is Harlan's Honor. They're at the top of the stretch. Jacaranda still the one to catch. It's Jacaranda with the lead. Paula's Silver Lining in 2nd, and Save Rock and Roll in 3rd. As they come down for the 8th pole, it's Jacaranda, and she's looking to take them wire to wire in the Tempted. She's in front by almost 3. Paula's Silver Lining in 2nd. Big long shot, Save Rock and Roll in 3rd. It's Jacaranda, and she's 2 for 2 in her young career. She wins the Tempted by almost 4 lengths. Paula's Silver Lining was 2nd. Save Rock and Roll finished 3rd.
That's right, an unbeaten 2-year-old filly by Congrats, Maggie, right off the maiden win a few weeks ago at Belmont.
Yeah, Jay, that maiden win, it was pretty visually impressive if you go back and watch it. I mean, she was just running over horses, basically. And luckily, they let her through, and she kind of exploded there. But this was a bit of a different running style. She got away more cleanly today, and she took them gate to wire. Now, obviously, the fillies race not going to get quite as big of a number as Blofeld got, because they did run about a minute and a fifth slower.
That's all right, though. Jacaranda is okay. She took the jump out to a mile today. She's certainly trained by a guy we have the utmost respect for, Mike Hushin, and he was with Maggie after winning the stake.
Here in the winner's circle with winning trainer Jacaranda, a winner of the Tempted here today, Mike Hushin, 2 for 2 in her young career. She stretched out brilliantly on the front end here today.
Yes, she's exciting. You know, her pedigree said she could do this. We were hoping she could from the beginning. She seems to have settled a little mentally, so it's all good here.
Going back to her first race, she was just pushing her way pretty much through other horses. Was your heart in your throat that day?
Yeah, all the things we were afraid would happen happened, and she won anyway, so she overcame all of us.
Well, Mike, congratulations. Talented filly.
Thank you.
And maybe you have some reservations with Blofeld stretching out and doing the 9 furlongs successfully in the Remsen. This filly, would you agree, strikes me as the kind of horse that might just be able to run all day, at least at this point in her career.
I totally agree with you, Jay. She's just that athletic-looking filly. She's shown enough versatility so far in her young career that I think she definitely can. And congrats are pretty good going a bit longer as well.
And she's out of a distorted humor dam. In fact, a younger half-sister to the Florida Derby winner, Constitution. That mare's gotten off to a terrific start as a broodmare producer. Barry K. Schwartz, the winning owner. Let's give a quick pop. Enchantress, odds on. Todd Pletcher's looking for his 6th win and attempted, and she's just empty.
She was empty. I don't know if she didn't like the moisture in the track or, you know, the only fault I could look at her physically in the paddock was that she looked a bit dull in her coat, but she looked like a very strong filly. She looked capable of getting the distance that was asked of her today, and in her first race indicated so. We'll see what Todd Pletcher has to say about her.
You hope she's okay going forward, because her Keeneland win, I know she didn't show up today, her Keeneland win was monstrous a few weeks ago. Race number 8, we'll give an honorable mention regarding the Sunday feature. We had the 2 stakes, but this is a good group, a high-quality class in this $80,000 optional claimer as we go back to Johnny I.
Candyman E. Pazzolini. Pazzolini from the inside post is out for the lead. And from the outside, Il Villano now moves up into second. Candyman E double down again, right together, third and fourth. It's a length to Pretoreo in fifth. Pass the dice alongside in 6th. Gap of 3. Mine Over Matter trails the field in 7th. It's Double Down Again, who comes on through on the inside to take the lead from the favorite Pazzolini. The quarter win in 23-1. Double Down Again on top with Pazzolini racing in second. Now it's 3 lengths. Back to Il Villano in third. Past the dice. Gain some ground now towards the rail in fourth, and it's Pretoreo. Farther back, it's Candyman E and Mine Over Matter. They're at the top of the stretch. Double Down Again on the inside and Pazzolini on the outside. The half in 46 and 2/5 seconds. Double Down Again. Pazzolini. Pazzolini on the outside takes a narrow lead. Double Down Again continues to battle on. Pretoreo is third. And now Pazzolini gets away. And it will be Pazzolini, the even money favorite. Close for second at the end between Double Down Again and Pretoreo.
4 for 5 in his career, unbeaten in 4 on the year. It is Pazzolini who makes quick work of the field in race 8.
Yeah, Jay, he looked fantastic coming off the bench, winning and in the paddock and everything else. And I swear he's gotten even bigger, as you pointed out, his sales price going back a few years.
Well, 875K is a 2 in training. He's a son of Bernardini, clearly handled with kid gloves. He is a 4-year-old, soon to be 5-year-old. Maybe off this race today, and we hope he stays around and stays healthy. Take a look at the fall high weight here on Thanksgiving, $300,000 purse. That's where I would be going, but he's not mine. Godolphin Racing, Erod Ortiz, and Kier McLaughlin. Few other races today. Of course, we get to the Sweet 6 with Johnny I in the booth.
Third, they come off the turn and into the stretch, and now Jet Alley has pulled away. Jet Alley in front by 6 lengths, by 7 lengths now. Beetle Boots has moved into second, and Ghost Swagger is now up to third. It's Jet Alley in front. Beetle Boots making a good run on the outside, but he's going to be second best here as they come for the wire. Jet Alley takes it by 1.5 lengths at the end. Beetle Boots was second. Ghost Swagger finished third. Some Heart continues to trail as they come into the stretch, and they're chasing Herd Mentality, and the big favorite is in front here with At Large driving up now on the outside. Herd Mentality challenged here by At Large, and At Large is now in front, and At Large is drawing away here in deep stretch. At Large, much the best. At Large runs big, 1 by 6. Street Swag rallies to get second. Herd Mentality, the 2 to 5. America with the lead, and America's clear now by 2.5 lengths. Agawa in second. Farther back, Rock Show is third. The heavy 1 to 5 favorite, America, has got it locked up here. America the winner, and she won here by 6. Agawa second. Big break back to Rock Show in third. the head of the stretch. Spider Roll now rolls up into second. Keen's Coupler, Spider Roll to the outside of Keen's Coupler. And now those two are right together with a furlong to the finish. And here's Spider Roll to take the lead from Keen's Coupler. Farther back, Hidden Warrior is racing in third. Spider Roll rolls home the winner by 2.5 lengths. Keen's Coupler was second. Then Hidden Warrior close for fourth. Between Party On Majesty on the outside, and it's those two. They've opened up 8 lengths on Lucky Nancy E in third, and now Jet Majesty takes over from Marcy. Jet Majesty wandering to the inside, leading here by 3 lengths. Marcy is in second, and Lucky Nancy E in third. It's Jet Majesty, and the 3-2 favorite wins convincingly. Marcy was second. Then Lucky Nancy E and Colorblind. Then it's Good Shot. Jules in Rome is under the whip. 3/4 and 1, 15 and 2. There in the stretch. In spite of Mama, now kicks clear. In spite of Mama with a 4-length lead. Good Shot on the outside and Stolen Victory. Then Jules in Rome. In spite of Mama. And she's going to win it here and win it here by 5 lengths. Close for second. Looked like Good Shot got it over Stolen Victory.
And the red eye as well for Javier Castellano. Won the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Turf yesterday afternoon with Chad Brown in the State Bred Day at the Spa. He was aboard in the nightcap for trainer Mike Maker in the 14 In Spite of Mama in a race, Maggie, where there was an incident in the paddock, the number 15 Tricky Zippy, and it sounds like jockey Mike Luzzi was injured.
Yeah, Tricky Zippy flipped over on Mike when Mike got up on her, and unfortunately it looked as though he may have suffered a leg injury. He was taken to Jamaica Medical Center, so we're hoping that whatever comes of it, Mike has a speedy recovery, and we love having him back here for the Aqueduct Winter.
No, he's an elder statesman in this jockey colony. I mean, a real, like I call Johnny V, a real 5-star general, a guy that's been riding here since the early 90s and winning consistently on the deepest jockey colony in all of the world since the early 90s. I mean, you're talking about 20 years, so we hope the Luz is doing okay. That's the last update we have. Now, big weekend for Wesley Ward, and it all culminated, how about that, with an off-the-turf win in Sunday's 7th race with Jet Majesty, who crushes the field, but 2 wins over this Breeders' Cup weekend for Wesley Ward, taking the Filly Mare Sprint and the Juvenile Turf. And Maggie, for a guy that seems to buy most of his horses at auction for $80,000, $70,000 or less.
I think when you look at the horses, you look at the $875,000 horses. I think those horses are being bought with the thought of, well, for pedigree, for breeding, and so Wesley looks at horses for how precocious they are, if they're athletes, if they're going to be productive on the track. And I think that's what he gets and what he finds in these horses. And he knows how to get them ready early. He has such an advantage over the rest of his competition because he's able to do that.
Some good stuff for a guy that is 13th nationally in Money Won with over $6 million. A Breeders' Cup weekend to remember for Wesley, who watched it all from the comforts of home down in Florida and watched his son Tyler run across country meet. But we'll see what the Wesley Ward horses do down the road, including Judy the Beauty, who is coming back next year. And how about Mike Maselli claiming one for owner Lawrence Roman? Good to see Lawrence giving Mike a shot. An excellent horseman, a 6-way shake as well on Herd Mentality, who came up a bit short there at 2-5 as a big favorite in the second race. As we send it to break with the second of our 3 segments down, it's the home stretch edition of Insider when we come back. Getting dark. Standard daylight time now. We fell behind with the clocks. I know Maggie and the backstretch workers got an extra hour of sleep, but boy, it gets dark early. 4:12, the final race here for the time being at the Big A. There was plenty of daylight, though, and daylight between the winner, Frosted, and everybody else earlier in the week. Big maiden win for this 2-year-old.
Yeah, it was still green as we see him swapping leads back and forth and lugging in there a bit, but he drew off nicely. I always swear that gray horses have a little little bit lacking in the upstairs department, so maybe that's his problem.
He is a Tappet, though, and he's got good connections on his side. Perhaps we see him against Blofeld in the Remsen. And how about this 3-year-old for Todd Pletcher? A sloppy Saturday. Protonico rolls home in the Discovery.
Yeah, I was impressed with this effort here, Jay. He was facing some highly regarded 3-year-olds in Bay of Plenty and 3 Alarm Fire, who was a no-show. And Protonico, Todd Pletcher, and Joe Bravo teamed up to get a nice win in the Grade 3 Discovery.
Yeah, maybe a horse we still have yet to see the best with. He's been very consistent and solid off that trainer change to Todd Pletcher, going back to that allowance win back towards the end of June at Belmont Park in the summertime. And Manny Franco certainly doing well. We will give him some props. He is our first hot jockey of this 2014 fall meet at the Big A. Young 19-year-old who continues to ride in fine form.
Yeah, he does. He picked up the slack when some of the other guys were gone, including some of his good friends, Irad and Jose Ortiz out in the California. But Manny, great stuff from him, and he'll continue to move forward.
He'll be here all winter, as will trainer Todd Pletcher, at least with a string, and assistant trainer Byron Hughes running the operation over at Belmont Park. As we look at the jockey standings, 7 for Mr. Manny. Franco Jr. Alvarado with 6. Joe Bravo, who had a big opening week, including the Discovery, with 5. We can get on to Todd Pletcher, who kind of jumped the gun, 280,000 plus in purses, and walked away with a couple of nice graded wins.
Well, that's what happens, yeah, Jay, when you win graded stakes, as Todd continues to do. He's won, what, over 1,000 graded stakes now in his career, and just continues to roll them in each and every week.
Win today earlier in the afternoon, in fact, way earlier, the first race as a big odds-on favorite for David Jacobson, who's favored, I think, to win this fall training Title III. Bill Mott with 2, Gary Contessa, and a whole bunch of other people with 2 as well. And to prove it's never too early to start doing the work for a new racing week, it's Andy Serling.
I'm going to go with some maidens on Wednesday. The second race, maiden claimers going 1 mile. I like the second-time starter, Tappin' Mojo. Frankly, there's not a lot of form to go on anybody, and Tappin' Mojo doesn't have a lot of form. But I thought this horse ran like one that might have needed his first start. And, well, if he needed his first start, then he'll improve in his second start. And I'm hoping Tappin' Mojo, who did a little late running in that race, will run much better and win the second race on Wednesday.
Pick 5, early pick 4 single perhaps, and Tappin' Mojo from a man that's always got the mojo flowing here in the Big A studio. Pulling G's, though, speaking of mojo, a 2-win Saturday for John Sheriffs here on a sloppy Saturday. Pretty nice 4-year-old by Curlin.
Well, when I knew that I saw John Sheriffs back in the paddock on the red eye after being out in California on Friday, he had some nice horses lined up, and Pulling G's did live up to his promise after that fast second-place finish first time out, and he once again earned a fast figure in a 93, and he was dominant against the rest of his foes 2 days ago.
Looks like patience is paying off for a world-class horseman, Pulling G's. You'll be hearing from him in the future, as will everybody out there from Maggie and me. Check out the National Racing Report for a complete Breeders' Cup recap. We are dark the next couple of days, and we get back at it here at the Big A with week number 2 of about 3,000 on Wednesday with the first race post of 12:20.